Your nervous system has one primary job: to keep you alive. Not to help you thrive, not to help you to expand. Survival. So if at any point visibility was unsafe, rest was unsafe, or success was unsafe, then your nervous system may still be responding as though that threat is present, even when life is different. Welcome to Growing Tall Poppies, Thrive After Trauma. I'm your host, Dr. Nat Green, and I am so excited to have you join me as we discuss what it means to navigate your way through trauma or significant challenges and not just survive, but to thrive after it. This is a space for people who've been through trauma or adversity, have done some healing, and know they're meant for more than just coping. This podcast is about post-traumatic growth, not getting back to who you used to be. Rather, understanding who you are now and learning how to stand tall without shrinking, forcing, or abandoning yourself. Here, we explore identity after adversity, integrity and visibility wounds, nervous system wisdom, and what it really takes to move forward in a way that feels aligned, embodied, and true. You will hear a blend of deep solo conversations and powerful guest interviews with people who have lived this work, not just studied it. Because growth doesn't come from pushing harder, it comes from understanding how you adapted, honouring your nervous system, and gently updating the old agreements that no longer fit the life you're ready to live. If you're ready to stop hiding, stop performing, and start owning who you are becoming, then you are in the right place. Let's grow tall together. Hello, gorgeous people. Welcome back. I'm Dr. Nat Green, and this is episode 2 in our mini-series around the invisible ceiling. In episode 1, we explored identity fractures, those quiet, often invisible agreements that the nervous system makes early in life about who it is safe for us to be. Today, we go one layer deeper, because once you begin to recognise and actually see the agreement, the next question that so many people ask is often, why does it still feel so hard to shift, even when I understand it? And the answer is simple and deeply freeing, because it isn't just psychological, it's physiological. It's nervous system based. So whilst we know that insight is powerful, it's not always enough. The body must come with you. So many high functioning, self-aware people say to me, Nat, I know where this comes from. I've talked about it. I've processed it. I understand the pattern. So why do I still react the same way? And it's such a great and honest question, because we've been taught that awareness equals change. That insight should be enough. But trauma patterns are not stored only in the mind. They're stored and they live in our bodies, in reflexes, in sensation, in breath, in bracing, in contraction, in the parts of you that respond before thought even arrives. And that is why insight is often the beginning, but not always the completion. Because the nervous system doesn't respond to logic, it responds to safety. Here's what matters most. Your nervous system has one primary job: to keep you alive. not to help you thrive, not to help you to expand. Survival. So if at any point visibility was unsafe, kneading was unsafe, rest was unsafe, or success was unsafe, then your nervous system may still be responding as though that threat is present, even when life is different now. And this is where so many high achievers feel confused. Because consciously, they want more ease. They want expansion. They want freedom. But unconsciously, the nervous system is still asking, is that safe? And if the answer is not yet, the system protects. Not because you're broken, but because you are human. And the nervous system doesn't respond to logic, it responds to perceived safety. And this is where many high achievers get missed. Because survival doesn't always look like collapse. Sometimes survival looks like functioning, achieving, holding it all together. And sometimes survival looks like over-functioning. You take on more than your share. You become the one who carries the team, the family, the emotional load, because it feels unsafe to let things drop. And of course you do, because somewhere along the way your system learned, if I don't hold it all, it won't be held. Sometimes it looks like constant productivity. You know, that constant state of busyness. You struggle to sit still. Rest feels uncomfortable. And you feel most safe when you're doing, organising, producing. And of course you do, because an old identity agreement may still be whispering, if I stop, I'll fall behind or fall apart. Then there's that old perfectionism. It's never quite good enough. You double check, triple check, over prepare, refine endlessly, because mistakes once felt costly. And of course you do, because perhaps your nervous system learned really early, it's only safe if I get it right and if I'm flawless. And then there's that hyper-independence. I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. You don't ask for help, you tell yourself, I'm fine. And you would rather exhaust yourself than risk relying on someone else. And of course you do, because the identity fracture underneath that may be needing is dangerous, depending is unsafe. And then there's always being the strong one. You support everyone else, but you don't know how to be supported. You're the one people lean on all the time, but you rarely lean back. And of course you do, because somewhere you learned, my role is to be strong. There isn't space for me to fall. And then there's chronic urgency. Everything feels like it needs to happen now, right now. You're always slightly behind, slightly rushing, even when there's no real deadline. And of course you do, because your system may still be living by the agreement. It's not safe to slow down. Slowing down is dangerous. And then there's that good old overthinking. You analyse every conversation, every decision, every next step, because your mind is trying to predict and prevent danger. And of course you do, because the nervous system often believes If I can just think enough, I can prevent pain and stay safe. Then there's that good old emotional containment. You stay composed. You don't fully let yourself feel. You keep it together because emotions once felt too unsafe or too much. And of course you do, because that early identity agreement may have been, my feelings are too much. It's safer to stay in control. And this is the piece I want you to really take in. These are not personality traits. They're not flaws. They are not you being too much or not enough. These are often the living expression of an identity fracture, not something you chose consciously, but something that your system organised around in order to survive. There are adaptive strategies, ways the nervous system stays in control, ways it prevents overwhelm. Many people are not living in peace. They're living in high functioning protection. And the beginning of healing is not forcing these strategies to disappear. It's meeting them with compassion and gently updating the agreement underneath. And this is why expansion can feel like threat. Here is what surprises people. For many nervous systems, the threat is not failure. The threat is being seen, visibility. The threat is ease. The threat is receiving. And the threat is rest. Because each of those states are unfamiliar. And the nervous system prefers the familiar, even when it's exhausting. So when you get close to and approach your next level, your system may tighten, hesitate, pull back, not because you aren't ready, but again, because your body is asking, is this safe? This is the missing link. The body holds what the mind has outgrown. Many people have cognitively outgrown the past, but the body is still carrying the imprint. The nervous system is still loyal to protection. And this is why somatic work matters. This is why integration must include the body. And this is where approaches like TRE, which stands for trauma and tension release exercises, and they are a mind and body practice for people who are experiencing any form of stress, anxiety, or trauma. And they can be so profound. Because TRE is not about rehashing the story. It's about allowing the body to complete what it never got to complete. TRE invites the nervous system to gently discharge stored survival tension through the body's natural tremor mechanism. Not forced, not dramatic, just the body doing what it was designed to do. Release, restore, and return to regulation. Tremoring is not weakness, it's regulation. The tremor response is biological. Animals do it naturally after threat, and as humans, we often suppress it. But tremoring is one of the nervous system's most intelligent reset mechanisms. It is the body saying, I don't have to hold this brace forever. And this is why so many people feel emotional relief, not through more thinking, but through safe, embodied release. Integration is not just insight, it's nervous system completion. And if you want to learn a bit more about TRE, then send me a message, DM me, and I'd love to give you a bit more information. I can send you a link so you can watch what it is and see whether it might be something that you're interested in. What I want you to know is you're not lazy. You're protecting. Let me say this really clearly. If you procrastinate, if you collapse after some momentum, if you self-sabotage at the edge, you are not lazy. As I said, it's your nervous system protecting. If you can't rest or you really struggle to rest, that's not weakness. And it's certainly not failure. That is conditioning. If you cannot receive, it is not because you don't deserve it. It's actually because somewhere your system learned that receiving had a cost. Nothing is wrong with you. You are operating from a pattern, and patterns can be integrated. And regulation is the bridge to integration. This is why nervous system work matters. This is why somatic approaches matter. Because identity fractures are not healed through force. They are healed through safety, through embodiment, and through teaching the body that it is different now. Regulation is not self-care fluff. It's not indulgence. It's the foundation of expansion. When the nervous system learns safety, then identity fractures begin to soften. Old agreements begin to loosen. And that ceiling becomes a doorway. So I just want to finish off today's episode, the second episode in our mini series, with another short guided reflection exercise. So before we close, let's just take a moment together. If it feels safe, and again, only do this with your eyes closed if you're not driving right now. Pause it and do it later. Let's take that moment together. And I want you to soften your gaze. And take a slow breath in. And a longer breath out. And you can close your eyes if you choose. And I want you to just tune in to your body right now. Do a bit of a scan of your head right down, your neck, your shoulders, your chest, through your back, your stomach, your abdomen, right down through your pelvis, your hips, down your legs, thighs, knees, right down to the tips of your toes. And as you focus on that, I want you to gently ask yourself, where in my life am I still bracing? Where am I holding, waiting for the next thing to happen? Where do I struggle to soften? And where do I feel I cannot fully soften? just notice what comes up. And now just ask yourself, what does my nervous system do when I approach expansion? When I'm looking to grow, to rise, to really move forward? Do I speed up? Do I shut down? Do I overthink? Do I pull away? And now offer yourself this truth. And you might want to put your hand over your heart space again. Of course my system adapted. Of course it learned to protect. Nothing is wrong with me. My system is not wrong. It is protecting me, and it can learn safety again. One more breath. And return when you're ready and open your eyes. Your nervous system is not the problem. It is the protector. And the protector can be met with compassion, not pressure, not force. In episode 3 of this next part of the mini-series, we're going to be exploring the next chapter, integration and wholeness, and what it truly means to become the version of you who is no longer organised around the past. So that's it from me for this week. With so much love and great compassion. Bye for now. Thank you for spending this time with me on Growing Tall Poppies. My hope is that today's episode has offered you something more than insight, that it's helped you feel a little more connected to who you are now, a little more trusting of your body, and a little more permission to stand tall without shrinking or forcing yourself forward. Post-traumatic growth isn't about fixing yourself or returning to who you once were. It's about understanding how you adapted, honouring your nervous system, and gently choosing what no longer needs to come with you. New episodes of Growing Tall Poppies are released weekly, every Tuesday, and I'd love for you to continue walking this path with us as we explore identity after adversity, integrity and visibility wounds, nervous system wisdom, and what it truly means to grow forward, grounded, aligned, and embodied. If this episode resonated, I invite you to subscribe, follow, share it with someone that you feel might need it, or simply take a quiet moment to reflect on what's ready to move forward for you. You can also find me on Instagram at Dr. Nat Green, on Facebook at Dr. Natalie Green, or over on YouTube at Dr. Nat Green. And remember, you don't need to rush, and you don't need to hide anymore. Stay connected, stay true, and keep standing tall like the tall poppy you are. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.